about how stupid everything is. I know we're live. I'm going to keep going. Everything's stupid. This world sucks.
Little prelude to the earlier conversation before we went live, listeners. Hello and welcome to chapter 268 of the DC Alliance podcast. With me, as always, is the pleasant Joe. Joe, how you doing today?
Really didn't think it got hit live until after I had done my little tirade. But hey, you know what? If you've listened to me on any of my podcasts, you know I like to blather, whatever. I'm doing good though, Travis. Ready for this weekend. I'm going to be heading to C2E2 tomorrow, just for the day. So looking forward to that. I know I've got a couple of, like you see my massive verse books right here. Going to get a couple of those, I think, signed by Kyle and Ryan because they're going to be there. So that should be fun. I know they're going to have a massive verse panel that I would like to go to. But yeah, other than that, I'm just kind of go to, because I've never been. So I'm just kind of going to go and have a good time. But yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Joe. Excited as I'm wearing my hat here, the Leafs hat. The playoffs start next week. Year 52, attempting to win the championship trophy since the last time. So,
how many have they won in 52 years?
0.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is a 52-year drought. So my dad's only seen them win once on TV that was not colored in 67.
Okay, I guess I should have asked how many. Because I thought they were only around 52 years.
They had the second most Stanley Cups of all time.
Oh wow!
But yeah, they had the longest drought. They got the longest current drought of 52 years. So yeah, it's rough. So fingers crossed. So hoping my heart's been broken so many times in the 34 years that I can remember watching them. So yeah. Besides that, not too much. Ready to talk about some Supergirl stuff and one of my favorite episodes of Smallville.
Yeah. We'll get there.
So let me get the network plugs out of the way. We are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance with 6 shows in total. On Mondays is bi-weekly is Ranger Alliance. On Tuesdays is a walk through the multiverse.
Actually, correction. Ranger Alliance is weekly now because we've changed up what we're covering, and we're currently covering a weekly show.
The Power Rangers.
Yep, it's the Sentai over straight from Japan, and that's a weekly. So yeah, the show is now weekly for this current iteration. Once this is done, we'll see about that.
That's pretty cool. So weekly is Ranger Alliance, on Tuesdays is a walk through the multiverse, and Wednesdays is the Animation Nation, where we have started covering Justice League Unlimited. So yay, good show. You could hear me in the first review being like, my God, it's just crazy after watching like a full season of something that was just okay to jump into something really good is like, yeah. So covering that. On Thursdays is Star Wars Alliance. On Fridays is Marvel Alliance, and on Saturdays is DC Alliance. Star Wars Alliance goes live on the Geekverse YouTube channel Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Marvel Alliance goes live Thursdays at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Time. And DC Alliance goes live Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All three of those shows also have their own podcast feeds. Search DC Alliance, Marvel Alliance, and Star Wars Alliance. If you just about DC content, Marvel content, or Star Wars content only. We've got all 6 shows on GUA Podcast Network. Stay subscribed to GUA on your podcast app of choice. We also have a Patreon, 2 tiers, a $1 tier and a $5 tier. The $1 tier is based on tip jar. Like we're doing, you want to help us out any way you can. And the $5 tier is where you get your extras, you get your ad-free episodes, early access episodes, and Patreon exclusive shows. Myself and Joe go through all the DC film through the years, over 30 pieces of content up there for the patrons. We also have the Marvel Alliance guys with their 2 shows on the backlog that are finished, Tales from the House of X, talking about your favorite Fox Marvel films, and the Infinity Saga rewatch. And we have Joe's Multiverse Minutes, where Joe's doing his Disney deep dives. On the 1st and 15th of every month, Joe is going to review a Disney film, and not just review it, give you behind the scenes facts, tidbits, all that sort of thing. Joe, what comes out in 4 days?
That would be Winnie the Pooh. I'm sorry, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. So we thank everyone that's a patron. If you're not a patron, take a quick 30-60 second break and review the podcast on your podcast app of choice. It's always greatly appreciated. It helps other people find the shows, and that's always a good thing. Okay, Joe. We got some set photos that leaked. We also got a nice little photo that came up after I did the show notes, but I have it here, and I'm going to put it in right now, right after the main topic. So we got some look at Millie Alcott's Supergirl and her suit. So let's look at this. There's 3 things here. One of them, I know I saw one of them in our GUA chat first. There's a video here of her on top of what looks to be a tank.
It's a tank of some sort.
Yeah. And it did look to me in the picture that it was Lobo, and then kind of looking from the video here, it looks like Lobo as well.
Yeah, I agree.
So
It's I don't want to say definitely Lobo, but
there's a
chances
giant
are Lobo.
axe at one point that he has, and I'm wondering like if that can be matched up to something that he's used before. But I don't see his bike anywhere either. So
Sure, but it's also with the video itself, like it's only a shot of these two tanks. So
and
like
a,
it's
and a flying bike, like I don't know if that won't be entirely CGI.
well, not necessarily. Like the rig could be there, but also we don't know what's going on in the set. Like it's literally just her and him on top of this tank. Like they're about ready to break into it. So who knows? Who knows what's happening? I'm excited. This looks
And
cool.
I like the look of the costume.
I'm not like happy that we're getting this leaked footage, but
the third picture, that's the most like it. It looks
yes.
Besides the symbol, it looks pretty similar to Supergirl from the TV show. Because I always thought that was one of the more fantastic costumes that they had in the DCCW those first couple of years.
Well, it's the more I don't want to say accurate, but it's the more classic type, maybe with the skirt.
Also, that first year they had CBS money, so you know that quality is just a touch above CW. So
yeah, well, because then by what year 3? It was 3 or 4 when she got like the full suit.
Yeah, I think it was year 4, and in Melissa Benoist's defense, first year they didn't film in Vancouver, and then the second year they did, but she realized then that the night shoots in Vancouver are not exactly great to be wearing a Supergirl skirt the entire time. So the pants really came at necessity, like she kind of wanted it, but again, if you're doing a movie, I would contest that she would have sucked it up for any movie compared to like having to wear it for years.
Well, the movie you are filming throughout the year,
yeah,
but you're mainly filming in a 4 or 5 month period versus a series you're filming year round because
especially
you're going to be filming
series,
blocks. Yeah,
the main hero was in basically almost
every single episode, every single shot.
Yeah,
Almost.
so
Yeah.
Again, I love it. The third shot we have here, I think it looks fantastic. I'm excited. I can't wait to see this movie, Joe. I think this is going to be great, especially like the comic is.
I mean, if it's supposed to be based off the comic, we've got the same, not the same writer, right? I think it's because Tom King is helping out with it, I believe, but he's not.
Yeah,
the same.
He's part of the
not
DCU brain trust too.
Yeah,
I think.
So because who's the director? Right? Is she the one that wrote it as well?
And no, I can't remember who directed it.
Wrote the script. But like, the book is great. I know we're gonna talk about it in the future before the movie comes out. We're gonna cover it.
So yeah, look at that.
No, I'm looking.
That is the comic. That is the like the storyboard, essentially the way they had it looking in their head before they put it out.
Yeah,
and I think that looks pretty good too. So I'm excited to see how this looks in live action. I think she's going to be great, and yeah, give me anything with the Lobo and Supergirl, and I wonder how they'll position this. Like I don't know how much of Lobo we're going to see compared to what we get in the comics. So it's not even Lobo. I think it's a different. Wait, Lobo's in that, isn't he?
Lobo's in the comic, but I think he's only in like 1, maybe 2 issues out of the 8 issue. Is it 8 issues?
It is 8 issues, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know. Here's my question: do you think that this will be more of a origin story, or do you think it will be because she's allegedly, I gotta use allegedly, showing up in the Superman movie?
Probably in the post-credit scene.
Okay.
That will set up her movie, I think.
Okay.
I don't think Gunn's going to do post-credit scenes. Either going to be gag ones or something to actually set up something going forward.
I can see more mid credit being the like her
Yeah,
this setting up the future versus, and I mean, not every movie has to have a post credit scene, you know, because
could
you
even have
also
the cop out of showing uh, Kal-El being sent off from Krypton by his parents in the end there, and have a little thing shooting out of her at the same time, and then
well
your
and
post credit scene is
and that's what I was kind of getting at. Like, I feel like because of the nature of that book, like she is off planet trying to find herself again,
mhm.
um, and she goes on this adventure. What is to say that this new movie, her movie, wouldn't be just the adventure she has before she gets to Earth? You know?
It could be that too, Joe. I don't know if they bookend it like that, with like, kind of like a Wonder Woman 1, where you got the story of Wonder Woman, well, with the Bruce note in between, like, of the bookend.
Sure. Well, I'm not even saying the bookend though. Like, it just the movie starts and she is like her ship crashes on a different planet.
Okay, so you're talking about the
Like
end
the
of the Supergirl movie is the same as the end credits of the Superman, like, where she shows up to see Superman, or do you like, are we just seeing
well,
both?
here's I guess it would be.
Because she's in
I don't know.
Superman movies, what you're saying to me, so I'm
No, that's
saying,
what I'm
like,
saying. Is she?
yeah.
Is she?
Well,
Like
that's what it was
I've got to
rumored.
use the alleged because
Yeah.
nothing has been official. So that's what I'm saying. Like if she's in this movie, will it be her crashing on said planet to set up this
I
Supergirl
feel like if they do
Women
that,
Tomorrow
we're
movie?
gonna see the same scene in the Supergirl movie.
Sure, the very
Yeah,
beginning. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Which,
Okay.
again, I'm okay with if that's the way they'll go with it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that too, Joe. I think that will
I
be.
just, I mean, because you are right when you say it that way.
You can't show
Um,
it without her, like, showing it again, which,
well,
again, that's not a big deal either. It's basically rewarding fans that watch one. If you might get little girls that have never seen Superman that go to Supergirl, so you
possibly,
still
yeah.
gotta show that.
But I mean, you also bring up a good point of the Wonder Woman bookend thing. Um, we've only ever had in the new current iteration of superhero movies. So I will say like the DCU and the MCU. Okay, so from 2008, we've only had one female superhero movie that was set in present, and that
Yeah,
was Marvel's.
yeah, you're right about that.
Like
Even
we need something
second
set in
Wonder Woman
present.
was set in 1984, which,
Uh huh. First one bookended with, you know, present, but the movie itself took place in World War II or World War One,
mhm,
1914 ish. Um, and then you got Captain Marvel, which was in the 90s. You got Black Widow, which was set during
before
after Civil
Avengers,
War. Like,
was
yeah. So like,
flashbacks before Avengers.
yeah. So we haven't had a female led movie set in the current present time. So that's why I'm thinking we could have that a scene at the end of Superman of her crashing a ship on a planet, and then this movie would be her on the adventure, not
Yes.
not have her show up in Superman. Hey, cousin, I'm here. What's
Yeah,
going
oh, I
on?
don't
And
think
then
that's gonna
flashing
be.
back to her adventure of
Yeah,
how she
no.
got to Earth. Like,
No, I don't think that. I don't think. I think what we're going to get is like either there's going to be one of two scenes: her crash landing on the planet, or her getting sent off from like the same time that the planet
yeah,
gets destroyed when she's a kid, and you don't even need to see her going off course or anything. That can be shown in her movie if you want.
yeah, okay.
So,
I
yeah,
get you. Like it just popped in my head. I'm like, this. I wonder if they're gonna do that. So
I do think, because again there was rumors that she was cast like while they were still filming, and I do think there was rumors of him showing up. So,
yeah, again,
or
there.
her
I
showing
mean,
up. Sorry.
we've heard the rumors that she's going to show up in the movie. I want to say alleged because nothing has been confirmed. I just don't want. I want to make sure that the movie we're getting is present day
Yeah,
and not a flashback.
yeah. Well, even I'm okay with like this is what happened like a month ago. Like
That's
yeah,
still
I know you
present
are
day
too.
though.
Yeah, I
That's
know
still
you are
present.
too. Yeah,
I'm
I know you are
referring
too.
more to the
Like
years
10,
prior.
yeah, 10
Yeah,
years ago type
yeah.
thing. Yeah. Okay, listeners, we'll take our first ad break of the evening. We're an ad support network. We don't pick the ad or the volume. I'm going to do a quick three count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in three, two, one. And we're back. Okay, Joe. Uh, got a cool picture that came out, a Collider review. A Collider exclusive. James Gunn's there too, but they cut him out for this, which I'm okay with. He's directing Cornswit and Lex Luthor. And I mean, I don't want to say it because Cornswit looks great as Superman, but talk about me thinking this is Michael Rosenbaum from 20 years ago, looking at it from here. I love the look. I love the look.
I mean, it could be. Yeah, I can
Might be a bit
see that.
big, might be a bit too swole. No offense, Roseman, but that was not your forte. I think the one season where you were stuck on the island, and for those couple episodes, season 3, I think.
Oh yeah, beginning
Yeah,
when yeah, that's right.
yeah. So again, I love this. I just got excited about this. I had to put this in for the first thing to talk about,
Sure.
especially considering there's a couple of other Superman things here I want to talk to you about, Joe. We got this cool thing here, basically saying from DC Studios, celebrate Superman Day, April 18th, and see the film July 11th. Last week we talked about James Gunn saying like he's working on the trailer right now. I can't wait for you to see it. You think there's any chance we see it on Superman Day next week?
I mean, it would be the perfect day.
On a Friday,
Right.
I love it. Not gonna lie, that'd be a good way to do the next episode.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I hope so. Again, it would be then we'd only have one more trailer when you get 30 days out. So I don't know if we're going to get it. We're going to get it sometime in the next 2 months. So why wouldn't you do it on Superman Day?
Superman Day would make the most sense. Because then the next one, Memorial Day weekend, maybe. Because why
Yeah,
not?
and again, you're just trying to get the word out here now, and hasn't been a plot or anything trailer yet. So
Yeah.
eventually, you
Again,
got to try
we've
to
talked
hope we
about
do.
that, and that's what I want. I want a little bit more of a plot. I want
I
to see
want to
what
hear
we're
people
doing.
speaking.
Well, yeah. We got. I mean, we got the teaser.
We did. You're right. Uh, okay. Did you get a chance to listen to this? Because this is awesome. Uh,
Did not.
James Gunn and Jim Lee talk about Superman and how they were both first introduced to him. Gunn says the comics, and Jim Lee talks about the Max Fleischer
Yeah.
cartoons,
Cartoons.
saying Solomon Soul when he was a young boy before they came over to America. And then they both talk about Gunn talks about the comics first, and then they both saw Superman 78 Gunn saw it with his father in the same theater, uh, like on the same weekend.
Oh,
They
nice.
might they might even saw it at the same time.
That's cool.
Yeah, so they were both living in the same area, and they talk about how fantastic that is. They're both wearing Superman shirts too
Yeah.
from
Need to
Gunn's
try to
film.
find. You know what? I'm gonna take a look. We'll see if I can find some this weekend that come at C2E2.
I'm gonna have to sort
I
of
did.
dig in, see if I can find some online.
Yeah.
It makes sense though for to go with the trailer, especially with what they're talking about here. I, I I don't see any reason why you wouldn't. To be honest with you, Joe, at Superman Day, it wouldn't make me expect every Superman Day to see something, but it would be nice to see it.
Well, especially with this new movie coming out this year, Superman Day makes the most sense.
Yeah. So we got
It's no different than them dropping a bunch of Star Wars stuff on May 5th or May the
yeah
4th.
May the 4th.
Yeah. So I mean,
Now you come to expect that with Star Wars, so I don't. And again, I don't think people expect that if you don't, unless you got a Superman movie coming. So
yeah, because there's always a Star Wars thing, book, show, movie coming out. Like this is like I'm trying to remember for like Batman Day if they've done anything.
I don't think
I
so.
don't
I think the
because we
ones like
haven't really had any
no,
Batman content.
and there was fandom back then too, where we got that first Batman
Correct.
trailer that set everything ablaze. Uh, we got a couple people talking about the Superman movie now, actors and execs. Warner Brothers Pictures co-CEO Mike DeLuca chats about Superman. I love Superman. I think James Gunn has crushed it. It got tons of his trademark heart and humor, and the action is jaw dropping. It's the Superman I grew up with, so I get choked up when I watch it. I think it's so epic and visually arresting and emotional. The performances are great. It's a 5-star movie to me, and I can't wait for the world to see it. Yeah, we're really excited about Superman. James crushed it. I would say in spirit, it's closer to Donner Superman, but it's also a big hunk of epic sci-fi. It has a little bit of what I loved about Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's true blue Superman. The conflict sources that he uses for inspiration, All-Star Superman and the like, are in there too. It is really a love letter what has made Superman endure for almost 100 years. He's managed to get it all in there.
Man, it hasn't been almost 100 years, hasn't it?
I get always nervous about these things because they always make me hesitant because I think back to The Flash, where everybody in their mothers said how fantastic. Even Tom Cruise came out and said how great of a film it was.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, but every time people wax poetically like this about things, but again, it's never bad to hear Warner Brother Pictures co-CEO talking about uh, the movie in a positive way. It would be way worse if he was talking about, yeah, I don't think it's going to do well. So,
Well,
we got a new quote from Rachel Brosnahan and Lois Lane. Since I conveniently brought it up, how intimidating was it to follow in the footsteps of all the great actors who've played Lois Lane? She laughs. You did very conveniently walk right into that one. Intimidating a little, but intimidating might be the wrong word. I was really inspired by how many different versions of this character have existed, and it feels true to the comics to have different on-screen interpretations. Lois has maybe changed more than any other character in the history of the comics. The way she looks, the way she prioritized from version to version. There's also a ton of different versions of her backstory. She becomes Superwoman. Sometimes the Red Tornado is another character she's been. I was most familiar with Margot Kidder's Lois Lane. I grew up completely obsessed with Christopher Reeve's Margot Kidder Superman films, but I also loved Amy Adams. I had a chance to run into her a couple times since taking the mantle, so I know we're standing on the shoulders of giants. So, and hopefully we can make the fans proud.
awesome. That's
I
great.
mean, that's pretty like if whoever her PR people, they gotta be like, oh my god, like thank you, what a beautiful
Yeah.
quote. Like
Great way to say it.
you managed to say everything and not piss off one fan base or like give
Yeah,
everybody
she
your
did bring up
flowers.
Terry Hatcher, so
Yeah, I think Dean Kane's done more harm to that than anyone.
right. I think yeah.
Oh
Well,
god.
I don't know. Terry Hatcher herself is kind of
Yeah, she was exactly
yeah
the beacon of
the poster
nice.
child for that either.
Uh we got another thing here from the actor Beck Bennett, who's playing Steve Lombard. If you know him from at all from reading about him online or the comic books, he's an adversary for Clark Kent at the Daily Planet. They work together. He's a sports writer there. He's kind of a bit of an adversary for everybody. He doesn't really have a filter. He's strong opinions with Steve Lombard. A defining trait of him by one of the creators or writers of the early Superman comics, he was described as a run-through character where you can run him through a scene. You know you're going to get a positive response, a fun response, or a laugh. He's a character where when you see him, you know what to expect. You know he's going to be overly confident and kind of fall flat on his face and get embarrassed. It's really fun to play a character who is so cocky and then always ends up getting his comeuppance. But that's kind of what you can expect, I would say, with anything that James Gunn does. He took a concept of a character and made it more fun and relatable.
I mean, yeah. Look at Guardians. Look at honestly, look at Scooby Doo.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong,
they're
Joe.
they're very great. Scooby
Uh,
Doo. Anyway,
no comment there, Joe.
it's a great look. It's a great. They're very relatable and very great. It's fun.
Uh,
I love Scooby Doo. I really do like those movies. They're
I'm
really good.
Scooby Doo was awesome growing up, and
Yeah,
there's several crossovers that you're like, I still can't believe some of them. I think Batman did do a crossover with him,
he
like
did.
Adam West Batman, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then I think again in here, like in the '90s, 2000s, they did another fun little cross. I think that one might have been D. Bradley Baker. I could be wrong, but yeah, because in the 2000s, Scooby Doo was crossing over with literally everything. You know, WWE and I think it did Harlem Globetrotters again. But
and with Batman, there's been some rumors. First, the script is not ready, uh, but they're gonna wait. Also, Grace Randolph is a monster. Just want to put that out there.
I did not watch that video because I just didn't want to hear her voice.
Joe, she's just essentially said, "I'm not going to talk about uh,
The
what
potential
Matt
thing.
Reeves is going through. Like, I'm not going to be one." Then she proceeds to say, "But it's as bad as it's as bad as it's not quite as bad as Chadwick Boseman, but it's bad." And I'm like, that's the worst possible thing you could say. Like you're
Yeah.
literally inviting more people to go dig it up, and you're like, I'm not going to say. One of those people saying, I'm not going to say, but then says exactly what you weren't going to say. And yeah, it's brutal. The Batman
I
isn't ready yet, but that's just because the script isn't ready.
yeah, I will say this. I remember seeing Reeves in that first fandom,
Yeah,
and then I think next time I saw him was maybe at the premiere. I don't remember, but just like there was a big difference in the way he looked then. So, and I'm not saying he was anything was going on, but like,
yeah.
uh, you know, stress for a movie like that, especially when you think about it. When he dropped the fandom trailer, that was what 20% of the film done, and that trailer looked bomb as f.
Amazing, amazing.
Like,
Better than a lot of trailers that you see. That's 100% done.
yeah,
It's
so
this,
like you can only imagine the stress he was on with that movie. You know?
and what they said here was Matt Reeves was a writer, director, auteur in his own right, and that it will come out when he's written his best Batman script and it's ready.
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, whenever it comes out, it comes out.
Take its time. Like, yeah, will it suck that it's going to be 7, 8 years, 9 years down the road? Sure, but guess what? I'd rather have a good movie versus something that they just pump out because we need to pump out another movie.
And in the meantime, Brandon Skillnar, who I've heard some or seen some people in our chat say should be Batman, said that I would gladly take that torch and I would not take it lightly. So people, I
Yeah,
don't know who he is, but people want him to be Batman, and I think he's digging it. I'm going to be excited when they finally get the DCU Batman because he's going to be pretty fantastical too. Which I'm always excited for those kind of interpretations of Batman.
sure.
We got one other thing, Joe. A new look at Peacemaker season 2.
Yeah.
A very small look, to be exact. Basically, just an explosion where Peacemaker just gives a thumbs up, and then he's running in the woods, jumps through a window. Don't even know if that's Peacemaker. Doesn't look like him. Looks rather small. Hardcore fighting, and Peacemaker wearing the helmet, and that same explosion, thumbs up again.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that's
I don't think that's
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. No,
Well,
could be
if
Vigilante.
you look at the hair alone, like the hair is different.
Could be Vigilante.
Maybe not.
So, yeah, I'm excited for Peacemakers coming out August 20th. Uh, so we'll be
Yeah.
obviously covering it weekly here,
Yep.
uh,
Looking forward to that.
coming off the heels of Superman. So, uh, Joe, let me see here. Let's
Yeah.
take our
Let's just
final.
finish it up.
Yeah, let's just finish it up. We are getting into Smallville season 6, episode 12, Labyrinth, with which again is one of my favorite episodes, Joe.
I'll be honest. So I remember it vaguely. I thought we had more time in the mental institute
Yeah,
because it's been forever since I've seen it. But no, man, this episode was
no,
great.
this episode doesn't stop either. It's really well
No,
done. Uh, and Tom Welling does a fantastic job here, like selling that. Like, oh my god, like why doesn't everyone else believe what I believe? Like,
yeah,
am I really going crazy? There are a couple points like where they show like Oliver Queen, Employee of the Month, Arthur Curry is another person. In the like this stuff that like kind of makes you
yeah,
believe too. Is like what
yep.
really good, really good.
Phantom Zone was a magazine. Crypto Jor-El was a soap. Yeah,
And the scenes with Lex when he
yeah.
doesn't have
That
his
that was
leg.
great. He did a
Yeah,
Rosenbaum did a great job with that one.
both of them. It was fantastic. The only person that believed in him was Chloe, uh, which is
And she
funny.
was
She's run away from government, which definitely didn't end up being the exact same thing that happened to her. Uh,
coincidence.
Coincidence, but yeah, I love that. And Martian Manhunter being in there with him, like helping him out, that stuff I enjoyed too. It was so good, and that's two zoners now that Martian Manhunter has helped. The other person that was trying to help him was Shelby barking. You
Yeah,
can hear him barking every once in a while,
good
which
old
I,
Shelby.
I did appreciate that kind of stuff. That's the same thing when I was watching Justice League Unlimited. The second episode was For a Man Who Has Everything. So when Superman
Ooh,
was in the
love
like
that story.
dream sequence,
Yep.
like he could hear Batman like calling out to him like, "Wake up, Kent, wake up!" And he's looking around like, "What?" And this is the same thing here, which I do appreciate that was interesting. This was just a weird, cool way to do the episode.
Yeah.
And like the doctor was really good too. Like he ended up being the zoner. So yeah, I I love
One
it.
of the nurses there, he was uh the Russian guy from the latest season of Reacher. So
Okay.
I mean, I know the actor. I've seen him in a ton of things. He's a great actor. But it was just funny to see, Alan Richardson last week, this guy this week. Both are in Reacher. Obviously, a lot older now. But I'm just like, that's fun. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's good to see that they're still working, kind of thing.
Oh, 100%. And again, they must be good at stunts. There wasn't, I don't even know, the Lana stuff was weird of it all because, like, I didn't understand why she was so weird about things.
Well, and it was the zoner like reaching into his mind and
Yeah.
pulling, especially like when he escapes, automatically. All right, I gotta pull stuff from his past. So like, all right, the girl he's loved forever, let's pull her in. And yeah, she was weird the entire time, and it kind of that alone should have been enough to make him realize, hey, something's up.
Well, he realized too that Lana was his biggest weakness.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, that's a pretty good lesson out of this episode. And yeah, again, I just enjoyed it. It was different. And when you watch 6 seasons of a show to see a different episode like that makes you go like,
Yeah.
whoa, wait, when Chloe gets shot and stuff, you're like, what? So yeah, really enjoyed it. There's the next episode, it's Red Kryptonite
Mm.
episode. So we know Clark's going to tell his true feelings there. But yeah, this was one of my favorite episodes, Joe. I'm glad I got to rewatch it.
Yeah, really good.
And
One of the good things about rewatching this stuff now is that I don't remember these episodes, so rewatching them is kind of nice. There are stuff I remember from season 10.
yeah,
That's
like the
about it.
JSA stuff. Or was that season 9? One of those two. I can't remember
That
now.
was 9, I thought, but
Yeah.
even that I don't remember. It's really more of some of the one thing I remember is Oliver being mind controlled, digging something up. Basically, the penultimate episode of the series, at the
I
very
think
end
it's
of the episode,
controlled by Dark Side.
he's digging something up. Like
Yeah.
I remember that distinctively. Don't know why. No, actually, I do know why. Because he was being weird in that episode. I mean, we'll get to it in a couple years, but like,
I look forward to
anyway.
it. So listeners, it was a pretty slow news week, but we had the Supergirl photos, so we at least we got an episode out of it. We'll be back next week with more DC goodness, I guess, and hopefully a Superman trailer.
Yeah, fingers
Fingers
crossed.
crossed. Till then, see you everyone.
Bye, y'all.